Welcome back, everyone. We're diving deep today into something pretty cool. We're going to be looking at the AgroGreen Multipurpose Cooperative Society in Nigeria.
Sounds interesting.
It is. They're doing some really innovative things to help farmers there boost their profits, but also, and this is key, I think, promote sustainable farming practices.
Yeah, sustainability is so crucial these days.
Absolutely. So we're going to be looking at everything AgroGreen offers. They've got discounted fertilizers, training programs, even, get this, help with exporting crops to international markets.
Wow, quite a range.
Right. It's a whole ecosystem they've built. But the big question is, does it really work? Does it live up to the hype? That's what we're here to find out.
I'm ready to dig in.
Me too. So to kick things off, let's talk about their Grow Smart package. Now, getting a discount on good fertilizer, like their Humic WSP organic foliar fertilizer, that's always a good thing for a farmer's bottom line, right?
For sure, but I mean, you could always just try to buy in bulk from any supplier. What makes AgroGreen's deal different?
Exactly. Good question.
Well, the Grow Smart package, it's not just about the discount. You also get the option to buy in bulk, obviously, and they prioritize your shipping as a member. So imagine it, right? You're in peak season, everyone needs supplies, but AgroGreen members, boom, their orders are at the front of the line.
Oh, I see. So it's like cutting in line, but, legally and ethically.
Exactly. It's all about efficiency.
Makes sense. And that kind of efficiency can make a big difference in yields and profits.
It really can. Time is money in farming, that's for sure.
No doubt. Okay, so let's move on to this AgriNetwork profit plan. Now, this is their referral system. And it sounds pretty interesting. They give you $2,000 for every individual you bring in and $5,000 for every organization. So if let's say you refer 10 farming groups, that's
Yeah, 50,000, not bad, right?
Definitely not.
Yeah.
But beyond the money, it seems like this system also helps build a strong community around AgroGreen. What are your thoughts?
Absolutely. It's all about trust. Farmers trust other farmers. That's just how it is. So if someone you know, someone you respect, tells you about AgroGreen and how it's helping them, that means a lot more than any fancy ad campaign, wouldn't you say?
Definitely more than some slick marketing campaign. Word of mouth is powerful.
It is. And with this system, it's not just word of mouth. It's word of mouth with a financial incentive. A win-win for everyone involved, really.
Smart. And for farmers who are already part of AgroGreen, those referral bonuses could really add up, maybe even offset some of their farming costs.
Absolutely. It's like a bonus on top of all the other benefits they're getting.
Okay, now let's talk about getting those crops from the farm to the market. This is where their agro-export gateway comes in, and this sounds like a big one, especially for farmers who are looking to expand their reach.
It is a big deal, especially for smaller farmers who often struggle to get their products into international markets.
But how does it actually work? I mean, do the farmers have to figure out all the logistics of exporting themselves?
That's the beauty of it. They don't. AgroGreen handles all the tricky stuff. Quality control, packaging, even all that paperwork involved in exporting.
Oh, wow. So it's like having an in-house export team without the overhead.
Precisely. They streamline the process, making it much easier for farmers to tap into global markets. And because they're dealing directly with buyers, they can often cut out those pesky middlemen.
Which means higher profits for the farmers.
Exactly. And it's not just about profits. By connecting farmers directly to buyers, AgroGreen is also promoting transparency and fair trade practices.
So it's a win-win-win. Farmers get better prices, consumers get high-quality products, and the whole system becomes more sustainable.
Right. Everyone benefits in the end.
I like it. But you know me, I'm a big believer in seeing is believing. Tell me about these AgroGreen impact plots. What are those all about?
The impact plots. These are like mini showcases of what AgroGreen is all about. Imagine you're a farmer, maybe a little skeptical about switching to organic fertilizer, right?
That's a lot of farmers, especially those who've been doing things a certain way for a long time.
For sure. So these impact plots, they're like little demonstration areas. You can see firsthand how AgroGreen's products and methods work. You can see the difference in the crops, the health of the soil, the yield. It's a very visual way to convince people, hey, this stuff actually works.
So it's like a test drive for organic farming.
Exactly. It removes the doubt, the skepticism. You see it with your own eyes. They have individual plots, about 120 square meters each. But they also have larger ones, up to 500 square meters, where entire communities can participate.
That's amazing. So it's not just about showcasing the products. It's also about bringing the community together.
Exactly. It's about learning from each other, sharing experiences, building a stronger agricultural community.
Very cool. Okay, now let's talk about their Farm Wealth Cooperative Share. This is their profit-sharing model, where members get dividends based on how well AgroGreen as a whole is doing. Now, that's a pretty unique concept, isn't it? Can you break that down for us a bit?
It's a really interesting model. Basically, the more successful AgroGreen is as a cooperative, the more profit they make, and a portion of those profits gets shared with the members.
So the farmers are directly invested in the success of the cooperative.
Exactly. It aligns everyone's incentives. The farmers work hard, they support the cooperative, and then they reap the rewards of that collective effort.
I love that. Most businesses wouldn't even consider sharing their profits like that. But I can see how it creates a stronger sense of ownership and community.
Absolutely. And it makes a lot of sense, especially for small-scale farmers who often have very little bargaining power on their own.
It's like a collective bargaining chip. And it's not just about profits either, is it?
No, it's about building a more resilient and sustainable agricultural system for everyone involved.
Well said. This is all so impressive, and I'm eager to learn more about the specific support systems AgroGreen offers. But we'll say that for after a quick break. Stay tuned, folks. Okay, so we've gotten a good overview of how AgroGreen works, but now I want to dig a little deeper into the support systems they offer. One that really caught my eye is this GreenSkill Academy. It seems like they're really dedicated to, actually educating their members, giving them the knowledge and skills to really succeed.
Yeah, they go beyond the basics, like just teaching you how to plant a seed. They offer training on modern irrigation techniques, how to manage soil health properly, how to deal with pests, even things like, climate-smart agriculture.
So they're keeping up with the times, making sure farmers are prepared for the challenges of, climate change and all that.
Exactly. The agricultural landscape is constantly changing, so it's crucial that farmers are equipped with the latest knowledge and tools.
Totally agree. And they even offer courses on business management and financial planning, right? I mean, that's so important, but it's often overlooked.
You're absolutely right. It's not just about growing crops, it's about running a successful business. So they cover things like, bookkeeping, marketing, even how to access credit and government support.
Wow. So they really are trying to cover all the bases. Okay, now this AgriVision investment program, this sounds like a real game changer, especially for farmers who are looking to scale up their operations. Can you explain how this co-investment model works?
Sure. So imagine you're a farmer who wants to, let's say, build a processing facility to add value to your crops, but you don't have enough capital to do it alone. With AgriVision, you can team up with other members, pool your resources, and invest in that facility together.
So it's like crowdfunding, but for agricultural projects.
Yeah, kind of, but AgroGreen doesn't just connect investors. They also help with the whole process. They conduct feasibility studies, they connect farmers with funding sources, and they even provide ongoing management support to ensure the venture is successful.
So it takes a lot of the risk and guesswork out of investing.
Exactly. It allows farmers to take on bigger projects, access new markets, and really grow their businesses in a way that wouldn't be possible individually.
This is fascinating stuff. It's really inspiring to see how they're empowering farmers to think bigger and take control of their own destiny.
I agree. It's a very community-driven approach to development.
It really is.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about the exciting opportunities, but farming, of course, also comes with its fair share of risks. So let's shift gears a bit and talk about how AgroGreen helps farmers manage and mitigate those risks. One program that stands out is Farm Aid Finance Access. Now, getting a loan can be a real headache for any small business owner, but especially for farmers, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's one of the biggest challenges farmers face. And a lot of traditional financial institutions don't really understand the unique needs of the agricultural sector.
Right. So how does Farm Aid help bridge that gap?
Well, first of all, they provide guidance and support throughout the loan application process. They help farmers gather the necessary documents, create a solid business plan, and present themselves in the best possible light to potential lenders.
So it's like having a financial advisor in your corner.
Exactly. And they also work to connect farmers with lenders who are specifically interested in supporting agricultural projects. They have partnerships with banks and microfinance institutions that offer loans tailored to the needs of farmers. They even help negotiate favorable interest rates.
Wow, so they really are advocating for their members, going to bat for them.
They are. They understand the challenges farmers face, and they're committed to making the process as smooth and accessible as possible.
Now, Agro-Equip Advantage is another program that's aimed at making life easier for farmers.
Yeah.
I mean, access to modern equipment is essential, but it's also a huge expense. How does AgroGreen tackle this?
Well, they do it in a couple of ways. First, they offer subsidized access to essential equipment. So things like tractors, irrigation systems, tillers, those big ticket items that can really put a strain on a farmer's budget.
So they're essentially making it more affordable for farmers to modernize their operations.
Precisely. And they also facilitate shared ownership schemes. So a group of farmers can pool their resources, buy a tractor together, and share its use.
It's a clever solution.
Yeah.
It not only reduces the financial burden, but it also promotes collaboration among farmers.
Exactly. It's a win-win situation. And they don't just hand over the keys and say, good luck. They also offer training on how to operate and maintain the equipment properly, which is essential for its longevity and for the safety of everyone involved.
Okay, that's smart. So they're not just throwing money at the problem, they're providing holistic solutions. Now, another important aspect of risk management in farming is insurance. Tell me about GreenShield Agro Insurance and what kind of coverage it provides.
Right. So GreenShield is specifically designed to address the unique risks that farmers face. Things that traditional insurance policies might not cover.
Like what?
Well, for example, it covers crop losses due to things like pests, diseases, or natural disasters like floods and droughts. Those are things that can completely wipe out a farmer's livelihood.
It's a nightmare scenario for any farmer.
It is. And it also provides some protection against market fluctuations. So if prices suddenly drop, farmers aren't completely left in the lurch.
I see. It's like a safety net to help farmers weather the storm.
Exactly. It gives them peace of mind, knowing that they have some protection in case things go wrong. And that peace of mind allows them to focus on what they do best, which is growing food.
This is fantastic. It's amazing to see how AgroGreen is really thinking about the needs of farmers at every level.
It's impressive, isn't it? They're not just providing products or services. They're creating a whole ecosystem of support that empowers farmers to thrive.
So it's really impressive, all the support they provide. But they're not just focused on the present. They're thinking about the future of agriculture, too, with their AgriNext Youth Empowerment Program.
Yeah, AgriNext is all about getting young people excited about farming, showing them it can be a viable and rewarding career path.
That's so important. But how do they do that? I mean, a lot of young people today are, more interested in technology and stuff like that.
Well, they're definitely tech savvy, these young farmers, and AgriNext recognizes that. But it's also about, connecting them with the land, showing them where their food comes from.
I like that. Back to basics in a way.
Right. And they have these mentorship programs where young people can learn from experienced farmers, get hands-on training.
So it's like an apprenticeship almost.
Exactly. They also organize workshops and training programs specifically designed for young people, covering topics like, modern farming techniques, business management, all that stuff.
Yeah. So it's a pretty comprehensive program. But what about those who might not have a family background in farming? I mean, can anyone join AgriNext?
Absolutely. AgroGreen is all about inclusivity. They recognize that the future of agriculture depends on attracting a diverse group of people with fresh ideas and perspectives.
I love that. So it's not just about passing on the torch. It's about, welcoming newcomers and expanding the community.
Exactly. And they do outreach programs in schools and communities, trying to, spark an interest in agriculture among young people who might not have considered it before.
That's really cool. Okay, now let's talk about AgriUnity Export Alliance. This sounds like a real game changer for smaller producers who want to get their products onto the global stage.
It is. You see, a lot of small-scale farmers, they produce amazing high-quality products, but they struggle to compete in international markets.
Right. They just don't have the resources or the connections.
Exactly. So AgriUnity helps them overcome those barriers. It's a collaborative platform that allows them to, pool their resources, meet international quality standards, and access those lucrative export markets.
So it's like strength in numbers.
Exactly. And they do it by creating a unified brand that represents quality and sustainability. So imagine, right? You have a group of small-scale farmers in rural Nigeria exporting their amazing organic cocoa beans to Europe under a single brand that consumers trust.
I see. So it elevates their profile and gives them a competitive edge.
Yeah.
But how does AgriUnity ensure that everyone benefits fairly?
Transparency is key. They have clear pricing mechanisms and profit-sharing agreements in place to make sure everyone gets a fair deal. And they also provide training on, post-harvest handling, quality control, all those things that are essential for meeting international standards.
So it's a very well-structured program. Well, we've covered a lot of ground today, and I have to say, I'm truly impressed by what AgroGreen is doing. They've created this incredible ecosystem that supports farmers at every stage.
They have. It's really a model for sustainable agricultural development, in my opinion.
I agree. What do you think, for someone listening to this right now, what would be the most valuable aspect of joining AgroGreen?
That's a great question. It really depends on the individual farmer and their needs. For some, it might be the access to discounted inputs and the Grow Smart package. For others, it might be the training and knowledge sharing offered by the GreenSkill Academy. Or maybe it's the opportunity to connect with a supportive community and tap into new markets.
So many options, all designed to help farmers succeed.
Exactly. It's about empowering farmers to take control of their own destinies and build a better future for themselves and their communities.
Well said. It's been a fascinating deep dive into the world of AgroGreen. It's truly inspiring to see how they're transforming agriculture in Nigeria, and hopefully their model will inspire others around the world. So if you're a farmer, or even if you're just interested in sustainable food systems, I highly encourage you to learn more about AgroGreen. Check out their website, reach out to them, see if it's something that might be right for you. And with that, we'll wrap up this deep dive. Thanks for joining us.